Welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today we are on day 4 of movies that I really appreciate and really enjoy, and I want you guys to enjoy the same thing. It's part of my Thanksgiving week initiative thing, and today we're going to be talking about the movie called The Platform, which in its original language, which is Spanish, is called El Hoyo. The Platform was released on Netflix in 2019. It is a Netflix original movie, and a lot of their stuff, for those of you who don't know, actually is in different languages, such as The 3%. Is a show that I really enjoyed, and I followed for the first 2 seasons. Then it kind of got dry, but it was called 3%, and it was entirely in Brazilian Spanish. And if anybody who's interested, so I watched The Platform first in English because I was watching it with somebody else. But anytime that I'm watching a movie in a different language by myself, I always watch the movie in its original language with English subtitles. Because, for one, I think it's better. Obviously the audio lines up much better. And also, it's just, I don't know, it's I'm not saying it's disrespectful to watch it in a different language, but it's more respectful, in my opinion, to view it in its original form and the way it was actually meant to be. Because if you watch, the English subtitles do not match the English words that they say in the English version, which means that there are 2 different translations there. So if you watch the original Spanish one, you'll see that it is actually the original translation, and therefore it is more exact to what they were trying to sell. Again, I'm sorry about my mustache and my awful beard thing going on. I am participating in No Shave November, and it will be gone by the time mid-December happens. For you guys, it'll be gone for me on December 1st. That's for goddamn sure. Oh, I hate it. It's itchy. It's annoying. I don't get why people do this, but whatever. I figured I'd try it. Quick disclaimer. I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of these names. Literally every one of these names is extremely Spanish, and I took Spanish in high school for 6 years. Not in high school, but in school for 6 years, and I was always awful at it. Anybody who was my Spanish teacher, if you're watching, hello. Sorry that it was bad at your class. But I find that, watching these movies, I actually understand a lot of the words. I can't speak Spanish to save my life, but I can understand a lot of it. I don't know why. It's really interesting. It's kind of cool. It's an interesting little fun fact about me. I can understand a lot of Spanish language. I just cannot, for the life of me, speak it. I can't reciprocate what I am listening. It's kind of interesting. I don't really know why. I don't really get the deal, but that's just how it is. So, Platform was written by Galder Gatsu Yorisha, maybe? Because it's T-I-A, yeah, it should be Sha. So, Galder Gatsatao Yorisha. It was written by David De Sola and Pedro Rivero. I can do Pedro Rivero. That's not too bad. So, for those of you who have not seen this movie yet, it is on Netflix, so you can watch it right now, and I totally would recommend that you do. A lot of it is kind of sort of political, but without being political. It's like another movie that I will mention later on in this list that I'm not going to announce because I don't want to spoil what my favorite movie is, but it's slightly political without being political. So this movie is, again, slightly political without being political in the way that... So what's interesting about the movie is it's like a futuristic world, kind of, where if you're bad, you have a choice of going to, therapy or going to this jail, or the hole. So, the way that this jail works is every month you pass out because of gas that they release into a chamber, and you wake up on a different level of the hole structure. And there's said to be a variety of levels. I think at the end there was, yeah. So at the end of the movie you find out exactly how many there are. It's not really a spoiler. There's 333 levels, which is half of the devil's number. And essentially, that means that, you can wake up on any floor between 1 and 333, which shouldn't be a problem, except for the fact that the food comes down once a day, and it's just an elaborate slate. It's called The Platform. And this platform is loaded with everybody's favorite dish. You always tell them what your favorite dish is when you first enter the hole. So it's loaded with everybody's favorite dish. There's plenty of food for everyone, theoretically speaking. You find out at the end it's maybe it isn't actually enough for everyone, but ideally everyone should be able to survive if they all choose and eat what they need instead of taking everything so that the people at the top are full. So then the people down at the bottom, after you get past like level 50, there isn't any food left. So everybody who's on level 50 and to like 333 aren't getting any food. And so they're literally starving and they have to eat their cellmate. They literally kill their cellmates and eat them so they can live. So the plot occurs when a man named Goring enters the platform. He discovers this awful way of life and living and basically classism, and he eventually tries to put a stop to it by causing like a sort of revolution. And then in the end, there's a lot of religious kind of symbolism. It really is quite a movie. Mr. Bernstein, I don't know if you watch my videos, but if you do, this is a movie that you would really enjoy. It's everything represents something, and it's really cool. Even in all right, so here's a couple things that I thought were really cool about the film. I'm not going to spoil anything because it is on Netflix and it's so available for you guys. So I'm not going to spoil any of the big things, but I will mention how the hole works. So the way that Goring got in was he volunteered to go in, because if you volunteer to go into the hole for 6 months, you can earn a college degree, which is ridiculous. But that's the way the futuristic society works. If you want a degree and you don't want to go to school, you can just put yourself in the hole for 6 months. And when you leave the hole, you'll have a degree. Or you go in for over a year or whatever because you killed a person, like Tony Megasi did. So it's really interesting to see the balance between who goes in to do the college thing, who goes in because they're bad people, and then also, do they survive? Do they make it past, the 6 months or whatever they're supposed to be in there for? And who kills them? Why do they kill them? Are they hungry? Do they starve? Do they eat other people? It really is a really cool thing. And the reason it's slightly political is because it mentions, classism in a way that is really interesting, because, the people at the top, the what is it, the 3% or the 1%, of people that have, billions and billions of dollars, they can have anything that they want with almost no problem. They don't have to work for their money. They have money. They can do whatever they want. And that is shown by people who live at the top, who eat everything they want and then leave nothing for the people down below. And then the people down below or in the middle have to work hard for their money. And when they get their money, they have to spend it on, things that are important. So they don't get anything. They don't get any of the food. And when they do, they have to treasure it and they have to eat it really fast. Now, other cool things about the hole. One, you're allowed to bring one item in. And the different items people bring in are crazy. Somebody brings in a boat for no reason. Somebody brings in a book. Somebody brings in a knife, the Samurai Plus. I'm not going to tell you who brings in what, but those are just some items that they're allowed to bring in. And then, something I was going to mention, but I forgot. I forgot. I was going to mention something, but then I totally forgot. But you're allowed to bring one item in, and that item can be literally anything. Somebody brought in a dog, which is kind of crazy, but they did. They brought in a dog. Somebody brought in a rope. Somebody brought in basically everything. Anything you want to bring in, you can bring in. It's actually really interesting. I'm going to talk about the acting briefly, mainly because I don't know how to pronounce their names, so I'm very sorry if I mispronounce their names. Ivan Massagué as Goring. He is really talented. He's the guy that comes in for a degree, and he's also like kind of sort of learning how to quit smoking because you can't smoke in there. And he brings a book about, it's like a religious textual book, which is really interesting. And he becomes kind of the leader of the revolution in the fact that like he leads the others to want to try to be better for the other people. And he did a really phenomenal job. Really, really fun to watch him. I don't know if he's ever been in anything else, and I don't know if it's available to me to watch, but I would like to watch more of him. And we have Zorion Iglesiar, maybe, as Tony Megasi. Tony Megasi is an old guy, and he brings in the Samurai Plus. He kills a person, which puts him in here, and he is his first. He is Ivan's first cellmate. And I'm not going to tell you what happens to him because it's a spoiler, but he is a really interesting character. I liked the character. I didn't really care necessarily for Zorion's performance. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't anything special. I mean, Ivan's was really, really special. Like, it was really, really cool. And Zorion's was really, really good. It just wasn't, like, outstanding, but it's nothing negative really. We have Antonia San Juan as Imoguiri, and she is another one of his cellmates that he gets, Ivan's cellmates, and she's the one that brings in the dog, and she's also trying to aid in the revolution. Again, no spoilers. A lot of these things are spoilers. You really should just go watch the movie after you find my rating, of course. Alexandra Masange as Miharu doesn't have any lines in the whole movie, but she has a child in the hole, and so she gets on the platform. I remember what I was going to say. And the platform lowers, and she stays on the platform until she is with her child. So whatever floor her child's on, she goes to visit, unless her child's above her, which she doesn't know. So it's always a big risk, and it's really cool. That character is one of my favorite characters, just because it's so unique and different. And like, who thought of that? I'm almost out of paper. Really, really, really solid performance by Alexandra. What I was going to mention is, if you take food off the platform and you keep it in your room, the room will either get really cold or really hot, and it'll kill you until you drop the food down to the lower floors. So that's pretty interesting. Anyway, with all that being said, I'm giving this movie an A because it's so good, it's so influential, and it's so important. It's an important movie to watch, and I implore you to go watch this movie, particularly if you're older. There is a lot of gory scenes and really dark themes, so if you're younger, I maybe wouldn't recommend watching this movie, but it's probably okay for people that are like over the age of like 16, probably, maybe even 15. So make sure you watch the movie. It is on Netflix. It's really, really good. I really did enjoy this movie. It's one of the top 10 movies of all time, probably. It really is quite wonderful. With that, I have a Twitter, and I have an Instagram, and I have a Facebook. You should join all of those things to keep in the loop of things that are going on. I'm going to be posting on Twitter, but I won't be posting much on Instagram, just because I hate Instagram. But it's a good way to PM me, so you can message me if you'd like. Make sure you drop some stuff down in the comments below what you want me to review next. In the beginning of January, I'll be doing a lot of the beginning of December, beginning of January, I'll be doing a lot of reviews that are requests, and then in February and March, almost all those are just gonna be requests. So I need your requests. I need you to drop in the comments below what you want me to review. Make sure you subscribe, because I know that exactly 2/3 of you are subscribed, but there's 1/3 of you that isn't subscribed that watch my videos. So maybe you should consider doing that. With that, I just want to thank all of you for watching my video. And just remember to keep watching films, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.